who's the puppet's boss? And who is responsible for this country's loss? They're giving and giving all away land across. They ain't leaving nothing for a local cause. They think they could outsmart we go fight for we property. Look the way they went and how they sign away our whole country. You implement the 12% and that was your greatest achievement. Still I can't pay me rent. We can't breathe. It's time to repent. We can't breathe. You hire one to fire one. Oh Lord, what a contradiction. Now look what you've done. We can't breathe. To a Swaligan son. We can't breathe. All the wheeling and dealing with the Dutchman was never part of the plan. Now hope you could understand how you're suffocating the whole nation. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Why don't you follow the process in the right way? Raise the minimum wage and give the people the right pay. Follow the code of conduct, obey the law. Is it really too much that we asking for? You will feel the anxiety, lead your people with dignity. Is it you or the next who could possibly save this whole country?
Welcome to the Late Night Show. Hope everything is okay. Hope everything is all right. I'm your host, Andrew Dick. Okie dokie, kids. What's happening on the lovely island of St. Martin? The Deputy Prime Minister of St. Martin got a cut ass today by the Deputy Leader of the No Party, Tocha Buncamper. I mean, a cut ass. Remember last week he was on Billy D, the Deputy Prime Minister, and he threw shade a whole tree at the suspended member of parliament that he suspended. He got podcasts every Monday running his mouth when he convicted, and it's on black and white, and he ain't had no right to talk. Well, today on that same podcast, the suspended member of parliament clapped back. And I must tell you, viewer discretion advised.
I realized in his whole talk that it's somebody's fault for what's happening. He blamed his elders outright, that they have no clue what they did and they forsake this country. The same elders that gave him a platform to run on today, to be in government, those same elders forsake this country. He could say it any other way he want. That's what he said. I didn't say it. He said it. And that they did a lousy job. You know what he made me think of? The St. Martin Donald Trump. It's not me. It's them. It's conspiracy. It's this. It's that. Man, please, little boy. Please. You know, what I found hilarious is that he was pounding his chest with his ego. 27 years old, I was a minister of this and a minute. Nobody gives a flying bat what you were when they're hungry, when they don't have a future ahead of them because things are closing down on them. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares. You know what they care about? That they have a job, that they can put food on the table, take care of their children, their family, pay the utility bills. That's what people care about, you jacko. Not that you were a minister at 27. Who cares? Not me, not the wrong people around. When I talked to the people, they said, look at that idiot making a fool of himself on a radio station. Billy D reeled your little backside in, you didn't even notice it. You had no clue. You made yourself the fool of the century. My God, man. But you know, again, like I said, he even went and started talking about facts. What's a fact and what's not a fact? And well, I fact checked some of the things. So we're going to discuss that. to make sure that clarifications are given to what he said was a fact. And I will tell you what was not a fact. So let's start. Because I think the poor young man said that in his memory, because, you know, Billy threw the roads and he jumped at it. He said, yeah, and the company this and the company that. And all his life, he only knew that company doing asphalt roads. And I said to myself, but wait a minute. Wait a minute. But this boy must have eaten stupid bush. Link 1. Phase 1 and 2. Sowalika Boulevard. All of these things. Up South Reward. LB Scott Road. Those roads. They were built by Cope St. Martin, Cope Europa, Cope Chukum, whatever you want to call them. Not Windward Roads, boy. They were done under the commissioner that came from your party. If you don't know, ask. Also, the former UP leader was working with that company when they built the festival center and all the roads around it, the beautification of Sucker Garden. If you don't know, ask. I'll tell it to you. But don't go out and make dumb statements. Factual statements. Oh, they put us behind, and if he could have started the plant, man, you can't even start your camo. Let's start an asphalt plant. So hey, stop talking stupidness. Are you going to buy a new asphalt plant? And as government, listen, say what you want. Claude Watty had a philosophy. He always said, government don't need equipment. Give the people of the country the rights to own the equipment and do the work. MNO, that's another one that did asphalt. You're correct, Soliga K9. But MNO changed the name from Cope to MNO. So same company, different name. Again, when I was in public works, I myself had a serious issue with not owning equipment because when we had weather, we were dependent on people. So that government buys some trucks and backhoes, and we did get a good handout from the Dutch in 2017 after Irma, and I was very grateful for that. And we still have those trucks running today. We still have those backhoes running today. And I know they are fixing them now. They brought in people that can really do a job on them. Again, that I understand. But you can buy an asphalt plant to do asphalt? Really? Look. I know you have no concept of how infrastructure works. Do yourself a big favor. Talk to the head of New Works. The good gentleman can help you. Because when you talk like this, people can really see the idiot in you. Because I don't know what to tell you. You really have no clue, son. Maya, I also heard him use a phrase that caught my attention. Cheaper is not necessarily better. I agree with you on that. Nor is the most expensive better. Because that's your norm. In all the tenders thus far, a competitive price meant nothing. In the garbage, fellas that have been hauling garbage for 20 years were screwed with a better price than the one that won. The building, no disrespect to the contractor because he's a great fella, doing a great job. Like it or not, there were 3-4 contractors with a better price that have the same, if not better, qualifications. And then you say they were closer to the government price. Are you serious? Are you listening to yourself? Government makes a price. We have had that in the past, that we made a price and we were wrong because the prices that came in were different. So then we review our price. We review our internal calculations. And then you made the cardinal mistake. Yeah, it used to be 800 and something thousand guilders. You're right. You have to ask those that calculated the 800 and something how it got to that. Because when that tender took place, I was there. I was still in government. You were not the minister. You were not the minister. You know who won that tender? Ask your colleague minister, who used to be a parliamentarian and a contractor before. Ask him who won that tender. and ask him what happened. You want to know facts? Let me throw them in your face for you. Because you have no clue what you're talking about. You're just making a mockery out of the ministry. But you have no clue. But I will tell it to you straight in your face. So that you understand. When you open your little mouth, make sure that you know what you're saying. People might be afraid to correct you, but I'm not afraid to correct you. I am not your equal, son. Honestly. I don't want to attack you, but I must correct you. Because what you're doing is utter nonsense.
That cuttass was brought to you by the No Party. Nation, opportunity, and wealth. The No Party. They gonna cut your ass now. Whoa. All right. What other news we have? Over the weekend, I understand that there is a new candidate from the National Alliance that is going to cut some ass this upcoming elections. And that is, of course, this Darrell York. I don't know where he come from. I've never seen him in my life. I've never met him in my life. But apparently he's very popular because his launching was popping. It was full. I was like, but what going on? Something going on. So, National Alliance, keep up the good job. You keep the Yorks in the National Alliance family. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. I notice it. Today also, they had the parliament meeting on the penal code because, you know, the politicians want to change some things in the criminal code so that they can't get locked up so easily. So, of course, they have to propose changes as the Central Committee meeting took place. First, let me take a moment of silence, like every single public meeting and meeting of Parliament.
Please stand for a moment of silence. Thank you.
Does nobody notice that Chris is sitting down? Chris is sitting down for the moment of silence. What kind of respect is that? Chris is sitting down. Somebody, what's going on? Like, I never understand why he sits down for the moment of silence. Doesn't he respect the people that came and gone from Parliament and the Island Council? I think that's why they do the moment of silence. I don't even know why they do the moment of silence, honestly. But still, everybody stands for the moment of silence and he just sits down like he ain't getting up. And also, sorry, we still on? Sorry, it's a Parliament meeting. You see Chris just sleeping in Parliament? Somebody wake up Chris. Anyway, so the first notice of notification came from the independent member of Parliament, aka, of course, the worst president of Parliament in St. Martin history, Grisha Martin, where she said that, you know, a number of meetings are pending. So what is happening? Take a look.
I've taken note of the convocations this week. I'm also looking at the time that we have at least 3 more weeks until recess. And my concern is of some meetings that we still have pending and open, and I hope that you're taking these into consideration. I have still a meeting for 7 months now pending. Telemeeting, 7 months. We've never called that meeting. Are we going to be able to at least have that meeting called before recess? Recess is a whole entire month, a month and a half, like July 1st to the mid-August, 6 weeks. Can we at least call the telemeeting before recess? We also have some meetings open, which is the reconstruction of the airport. We'd like to know if it's possible to close that meeting off. That has been pending for 7 months as well. And I have a meeting pending for 5 months that's been also pending, which is the prison meeting. And these are all, for the most, public these were urgent meetings. And an urgent meeting that had to be called in 4 days, still open for 7 months. So I would like to please bring your attention, draw your attention to these, and hopefully that you can maybe have them on the convocations between now and before recess. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So, of course, an answer was given by the tallest member of parliament, you know, former party leader. I always look at the stick it to her. So he answered her. It was hilarious.
When, let's say, this presidium went in, one of the things we decided was we would collectively as a presidium ensure that we try as much as possible to deal with the meetings that were outstanding. Particularly when it comes to ministers, meetings where the minister's presence was requested. At the time, from October 27th, there were 26 meetings in which the minister's presence were requested. Up until when we had that meeting, that was, I believe, a week ago, we have 15 meetings with ministers pending. So I think we have to continue to try as much as possible to get that backlog cleared. I do know that especially within some of the committees, that is something that we have discussed, that with the committee chairs, especially in those where the minister's presence is requested, that we try to prioritize also getting those committee meetings out of the way. I think it's also important, the public meetings. But the committee meetings, as we've seen right now, as a result of activities of the committee, it can lead to a lot of fruitful things coming out of the committees, especially the committee of ECUIS, where we know it's the committee that gets the most requests. So naturally, it's no surprise that there's also quite some meetings there. So I do hope that we can try to get as many of those out before the end of the recess and continue what we're doing, which is getting as much as the backlog that we met, getting them out of the way.
And then, of course, Cookie was like, whatever he said. In any case, welcome to the Late Night Show. We have a good one for you. Let's begin.
At SXM, we're taking travel and tourism to new heights. Here we boast spacious check-in areas, 10 passport control points, comfortable departure lounges, and finally, there's an airport in the Caribbean that takes your travel plans as seriously as you do. Princess Juliana International Airport.